It's Mickey TV, and this is my Minnesota Vikings 2018 season, week number 6, game number 6, analysis, recap, and review of the Minnesota Vikings game that was played on October 14th at US Bank Stadium versus the Arizona Cardinals. And in this game, like I predicted, the Minnesota Vikings would win this game, and they won this game by a score of 27-17, which was pretty close to my prediction. I think I said 23-17 or 23-16 against the Cardinals, so I was pretty close on my prediction on this game. And the Vikings, well, I'll blame the coaching staff for making this a closer game than it should have been at the end. So the Vikings came in. The defense played very well again in this game, and the offense had actually a pretty good game. Now, I don't know if that is in part to a good game plan on the Vikings' behalf, or if the Cardinals really suck. And based on the Thursday night game we just saw where they got clobbered by the Broncos, it looks like the Cardinals suck big time. So it's great to see them, get all these stats, but at the same time, I'm not going to go crazy and think that they're going to make it to the Super Bowl just because they beat the lowly Cardinals. So let's get to the highlights of the game, individual highlights of the game. Let's start off with Kirk Cousins. He was 24 of 34 with 233 yards. Only one TD passing, but he also rushed in a TD as well, so that's technically 2 TDs for him. He did have an interception, and he had he rushed 4 times for a total of 14 yards. So pretty much a pretty good game for Kirk Cousins. It would have been pretty cool to see a little bit better numbers than this. And I think he should have. I'll explain later in regards to that. So a pretty good, solid game for Kirk Cousins. Running game, finally, we had a pretty good running game. Again, is it because the Cardinals really suck? Probably, but it was good to see a running game in this game. Latavius Murray had 24 carries for 155 yards rushing, which was 6.5 yard average of rushing, which is really, really good. And he had a 1 TD rushing in for a touchdown, so that was good to see as well. On the receiving end of the ball, the big player for that, once again, Adam Thielen. Very consistent, just coming in, getting a lot of yards, catches, that kind of stuff. He finished the game with 11 catches, 123 yards, and 1 TD reception. Overall, the offensive line, again, needs improvement. Not much improvement compared to last week. Their sacks increased by 4, 7 tackles for losses, 7 passes defended, and 7 QB hits. Once again, this offensive line, I don't know what the deal is, or if part of it is Kirk Cousins. Sometimes you might have to blame the quarterback if he's holding the ball too long or what have you, but it just doesn't seem like the offensive line has gelled yet or have made any really good gains in this part of the game here. So we'll see. That's the one thing that kind of concerns me about the offense and maybe explains a few things. We need a really good, consistent offensive line, and we haven't had that yet this season. On the defensive side of the things on the ball, George Iloka led the team in tackles with 8, 7 of which were solo. And then Harrison Smith had 7 tackles, 4 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, and 1 QB hit. Harrison Smith was really busy in this game today. It was really cool to see. And then Xavier Rhodes, he had 5 tackles, 5 solo, a pretty standard game. And then Mackenzie Alexander had 5 tackles, 4 solo, 1 sack, 2 of the tackles for loss, 2 passes defended, and 1 QB hit. That's pretty dang good. And then Daniel Hunter was all over the field as well. He had 5 tackles, 3 of which were solo, 2 sacks. That is awesome to see. 2 tackles for losses, and 3 QB hits. So he was terrorizing the quarterback in this game. It was really awesome to see that happen. And then Anthony Harris, I just like to mention, he had, just only 2 tackles, 1 solo, but he had 2 passes defended and an interception, which was really cool to see. I love turnovers, I love interceptions, I love forced fumbles, and that's what I like to see from the defense. On the defensive side of things, the defense was pretty solid again. 4 sacks, 6 tackles for losses, 6 passes defended, 6 QB hits, and an interception. So that was good to see. Again, the defense is rock solid. Probably the main reason why this team won this game again was because of the defense. Even though our offense was scoring at the beginning part of the game, later part was a little bit of an issue. And I have some complaints in regards to the coaching on that side of the thing. But overall, again, the defense was solid, kept us in the game. I think they got I didn't even check on time of possession, but I think they got kind of tired at the end because they were on the field a lot. And that's not what you want to have happen to your defense, is to have them on the field a lot because your offense is punting all the time. So, special teams. Pretty quiet day, which is good. Good news if your special teams has a quiet day in regards to misses in that. So Dan Bailey, 2 of 2 on field goals with 3 extra points out of 3. So a very solid day, and as long as you don't hear anything bad about that, that's all you need from your kicking game at all. So so far, the special teams was pretty good today, or that day. All right, now back to my analysis of this game and my criticisms of Mike Zimmer again. The beginning half of the game, pretty solid. Just we scored a lot of points and had the game in hand, and the Cardinals really wasn't in this game in the first half. But in the second half, this is where I have my criticism of Mike Zimmer. Once he has a big lead, he tries to play not to lose. He doesn't play to win. He doesn't even have a killer instinct. He doesn't know how to put another team out of its misery. And again, about late into the third or halfway into the third quarter and from then on, he was really conservative on offense. And it really pissed me off because our defense had some great stops. This is the timeline of what happened at a certain point in the game. Number 41, Anthony Harris, got an interception. Great. Offense comes on the field. I think the Vikings were winning like 27-10. Perfect time to just nail the nail or drive the nail into the coffin, the final nail into the coffin, and then take the Cardinals out of their misery. And instead of just driving it down the field and at least get a field goal or something, the Vikings go 3 and out and punt the ball. Defense comes back out on the field. Cardinals are stopped again. And not only that, but the Cardinals, there was a change of possession. The Cardinals tried to go for it on 4th down. Defense stopped them. What happened? Mike Zimmer sent out the offense. Again, they were really extremely cautious and careful with the offense. What did they do? 3 and out, they punted. And then the next time around, the Cardinals did score a touchdown. And then what happened in response? Same thing. Zimmer sends out the offense, 3 and out, they punted. And if it wasn't for the defense stepping up, the Vikings could have easily lost this game with the 3 and outs and puntings going on the offense. And during the regular season against a crappy team like this, yeah, you can maybe get away with it. But against the better teams in the league, or if you're in the playoffs, something like this is not going to jive in the playoffs, and you're going to lose. And that's why he is not a great coach, because he keeps on doing this stuff. He keeps on playing not to lose. He needs to learn. Well, I don't think he'll ever learn how to play to win and drive the final nail into the coffin and taking them out. So that's about it for my analysis. I will talk to you guys later. Skol Vikings!